Yes, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm on the tram again because I am going to work for a couple hours. As I said, as I promised, this Sunday I'm going to be talking about surviving R. Kelly from a psychological perspective and packing it from a psychological perspective. How is everyone this Sunday, by the way? I mean, this is a topic that people have been emailing me to just assess it from a psychological perspective. Yeah, that's the tram, as you guys can hear. But this is really a deep. I've done my research. I've listened to all the Lifetime series that the documents that actually were documented about R. Kelly. So basically, R. Kelly was molested when he was younger. He was abused and raped when he was younger. And so that was the norm for him. He was abused, he was violated by a family member. This is what he had stated in some of his interviews. And because he was molested by a family member, he had to raise himself up thinking a certain way. So these women, he used to fancy young girls actually. R. Kelly has dated a lot of young girls and groomed a lot of young girls simply because the man Robert Kelly was abused. The man Kelly is the musician that has the gift of singing and the talent of writing. So now we have two different people. Hi there, how are you? Those of you that have joined me, welcome. I'm talking about R. Kelly and Parkin, the documentation that the abuse, obviously the allegations that have been put forth, that basically he molested a lot of young girls and sexually abused a lot of young girls. And so the man Kelly, and from a psychological perspective, there's two people in this actual allegations. R. Kelly and Robert Kelly are two different people. So Robert Kelly, I'm going to start speaking about Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly was a young man who got abused and molested by a family member, from what I've heard from his interviews, and he got violated multiple times. I do not know whether this person that molested him was living with him. If the person that molested him was living with him, that means it was an abuse and a molestation that was continuous. So it became the norm for Robert Kelly. Now, Robert Kelly grew up thinking or knowing or observing or understanding that this is the norm to treat people or women. We do not have the information whether it was a man or woman who actually abused him, and so I cannot ascertain whether it was a man or woman who abused him. But what I understand from what I've listened to Robert Kelly's interview, he reports that he was abused. But from assessing the perspective of abuse, is that for you to be abused, the person exploits you, shows you a form of control. And so he's learned to be controlling through sex, through molesting people, and he understood that that's a form of power. Because any person that abuses and molests you sort of takes your power away and your decision and your choice making away. So Robert Kelly had his decisions and his choices taken away through control, Now, R. Kelly, the man who is a musician, who is a talented writer, actually he never knew how to write. So it's reported. So he was taught. His ex-wife tells us that he taught him how to write. So in a nutshell, R. Kelly, the musician, the talented musician, his gift was never taken away. He had to use his alter ego to sort of relieve what he was facing from a young age, and then he relived it in his adult age by also replaying what he was taught from a young age sexually from an older person that this is how you take control and power and abuse. For him, he wouldn't see it as abuse, because this is something that he learned. It's learned behaviors. So therefore, he went to date and be with girls that are younger than him, because this saw this as the norm. There's a man called John Bowlby, right? He's a psychologist. He talks about the attachment theory. He says from the age of 1 to 5, a person, human beings, right, kids, children learn from the age of 1 to 5. I write this in my book, actually, Challenges of Identity, a Psychological Perspective. John Bowlby talks about the theory of attachment, and he says that young people learn from the age of 1 to 5 what the environment has taught them, their parents, the attachments that they form. So with R. Kelly, he learned that basically his abuser, whoever abused him or molested them, sexually molested them, whatever he learned about treating women, or could be men, or could be using power, he learned it from his abuser. To me, from a psychological perspective, this seems like it was something that was continuous in his life up until a certain age that is older. So if this behavior started from the age of 4 or 5 years old, this was ingrained in R. Kelly's mindset, that this is how you treat, and these are the kind of people you are supposed to be with. You take power and control by sexually abusing people. That's how you retain power and control. Or teaching people from a young age and grooming them to what you want them to be. So it is unhealthy. R. Kelly, Robert Kelly as a man, is a sick man. Kelly as a musician is a talented man. So these are the identities, the double identities that I talk about. You know, people have jobs to do, but when they go home in their households, they're two different people. Now the women, the victims that he abused and molested, are now coming out. It is affected them. I don't know whether this was once or twice, or it was something that was continued, because several of them that have come multiple times that he has abused them. If he's abused them multiple times, it means it was continuous. So therefore, they've also got learned behaviors. So R. Kelly really needed a psychological diagnosis and a psychological CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, to really stop what he was doing. I'll say Robert Kelly, not R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a performer. Robert Kelly is an individual person, a human being who got abused and molested. But the problem is that the people, we don't know whether he told the people around them, or he expressed the feelings of how he felt, what had happened to him when he was younger. Hence why he carried on his behavior. A lot of people are blaming him about, hi, good morning, how are you, thanks for watching. A lot of people are blaming him and people around him that they should have done something. But oftentimes he presented them with R. Kelly. He didn't present them with Robert Kelly, those that he knew. You know, Robert Kelly was an individual person. Is that what he showed his wife? Although he abused his wife because of the learned behavior, that's another story for another day to analyze. But R. Kelly is what he presented to people, the alter ego, you know, their alter ego. So a lot of people have alter egos. You know, I know a few people that I know in the entertainment industry that do have alter egos. You know, I know a few DJs that actually go out and with their alter egos on the table, but in natural life, that's not the person that you're seeing. Yeah. So R. Kelly, Robert Kelly is a sick man. R. Kelly is a talented man, an individual man that learned, you know, how to express his feelings and emotions through music and through abuse and women. Yeah. So that's as far as I can analyze it anyway, for now. But that's, you know, even when he married R. Kelly, I think that was the norm. He saw that as the norm. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna love and leave you guys. Take care, share, and let me know what you think.